Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Mad Tinker Gaming with me, Travis. Today, we're going to be opening, you guessed it, the second of our two fat packs we purchased before. Here it is, the Scars of Mirrodin Fat Pack box. Now, this box only includes 8 booster packs instead of 9 like the last one. It came out a little earlier, so they only had 8 in these. And in this set, there's been a big push in its price because of a card called Mox Opal. Everybody wants that Mox Opal. Now there's several other little cards in here that are worth quite a bit. Skithrix is a black dragon. He's really valuable. You also have in this set Venser, which is kind of what I'm looking for, the white-blue planeswalker. There's other goodies in there too, several lands, stuff like that. But everybody seems to be after that Mox Opal. So, without further ado, we're just going to crack this open. There's your Scars of Mirrodin guidebook. We'll get rid of all this other excess stuff that you don't need and you don't really care about. Nobody wants to care about the cardboard. It's useless. We're going to get rid of cardboard. Cardboard. Now, here was one other thing that they did in these older books. They have this right here. It's like a little chapter from a Planeswalker novel. They don't do that anymore. It's just straight up this book right here, your player's guide, which has your list of different cards in here. And then this was a little nice touch back in the day because it was a chapter of a book that they were coming out with, and then you could go purchase that book. But they don't do that anymore, so I'm just going to put it back in the box. I'm going to set this box over here to the side. That'll be where I start staging all of their lovely items. Okay. Now, as with the other fat pack, you've got your packs. You've got a land pack in here. The land pack is still just a basic land pack. I wish I had some of the nice ones that were the full art lands, but I didn't pick up any Zendikar. Those go for a bit of money too, but pretty much just for the full art packs. So there's your land pack. Once again, a little how-to play guide. Comes in most of your fat packs. Now, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I've played, and this set is rather old, this set had Metalcraft, which is why Mox Opal is really valuable. It also had, I think, Infect is still in it, and maybe Proliferate? I'm not for sure. Proliferate was a pretty cool mechanic as well. Here's your blue dice, which is pretty cool. It's got your Scars of Mirrodin roll down symbol on it. We'll put that in there. And now we've got to our pack. So let's see what we get. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pack 1. I've been kind of excited to get to these packs myself. I've been holding them back here. It's one of those things where it's like, man, I really want to open it and see what's in it, but I want to wait and do it a little bit later. Wanted to get people interested, and there's all the commons. Alright, here's your uncommons. Trigon of Thought, Auric Edgewright, Icarats. Yep, Infect is in here, and so is Metalcraft. So that's pretty good. Here's our first rare. It's Stratascythe. And a little Infect counter right there. That's pretty cool. If you run Infect, it's still, I think, a fairly popular deck in modern formats. Infect creates poison counters. If you haven't played this game, there's several ways to win. You can, the premise is each player has 20 life, and you can either destroy their life total, which is 20, or you can eliminate their deck, and they'll lose that way if you mill them to death. Or you can get poison counters. Poison counters meant you died at half of your life. In essence, once you got 10 poison counters, you lost the game. So poison was a pretty cool thing, and Infect gave stuff poison. Here is Twisted Image, Trigon of Corruption, Palladium Mirror. Okay, the mirror were in this one too. This one was cool. When it was tapped, you added 2 colorless to your mana pool, which was pretty good for a mirror. Alright, here's your second rare, Nim Death Mantle. It's an artifact. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, Intimidate, and is a black zombie. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay 4. If you do, return that card to the battlefield and attach Nim Death Mantle to it. So it's 4 to equip it, and if something dies, goes to the graveyard, you can pay 4 life and it comes back and gets a +2/+2. That's good. It's rather mana intensive, but still good. We just got a mountain here. And we got a foil Ogre Gear Grabber. When Ogre Gear Grabber attacks, gain control of target equipment and opponent controls until the end of turn. Attach it to Ogre Gear Grabber. When you lose control of that equipment, unattach it. That's pretty cool. So you get to steal equipment, put it on the Ogre, and then at the end of turn, you're going to give it back to your opponent. But then they have to pay to re-equip it to something. So it makes them pay a little bit more mana to use it. It's a nice foil. It's a beautiful foil. Alright. Here we go. Auric Edgewright. Now this one, the Metalcraft mechanic, Auric Edgewright, has double strike as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. That's what Metalcraft was. You had to have 3 artifacts to make it work. Necropede is another infect creature. When Necropede is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Dispense Justice. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature. It has Metalcraft. If you have 3 or more artifacts, that player sacrifices 2 attacking creatures instead if you control 3 or more artifacts. Venser's Journal is a rare. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. That seems like a solid artifact. It's a high mana cost though, 5. And a mirror token. I like the mirror tokens from this set. They were pretty cool looking. Come on, Mox Opal. I know that's what everybody wants to see. Shoot, if we pull one of those, that thing pays for everything that I've put into this. Those things are going crazy. I checked the prices on those earlier. Just a regular one's almost $90. If you get a foil, it's ridiculous. Furnace Celebration. Whenever you sacrifice another permanent, you may pay 2. If you do, Furnace Celebration deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Wow. So this one's pretty much, I sacrifice something, I pay 2 to deal 2 damage. It's Thrumming Bird. Okay, when Thrumming Bird deals combat damage to a player, Proliferate. Now, Proliferate was the other mechanic I was talking about earlier. And it's you choose any number of permanents and or players with counters on them, then give each another counter of a kind already there. So, for example, say you had Infect, you'd given somebody a poison counter, and then this creature comes out. Whenever it attacks, you can give them another poison counter, whether it deals damage or not, because it just says when it attacks, Proliferate. Oh no, this one says when it does combat damage, so it would have to do damage. Another Dispense Justice. And we have a Copperline Gorge. There we go, that's a nice land. That's a fairly decent land. Copperline Gorge enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands, and it makes a red or green. Plains, and then we got a cat token. Those are nice, and we got a foil rare from this. Let's see here. Painful Quandary. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player loses 5 life unless he or she discards a card. Wow, 5 to deal 5 damage every time they play a spell unless they discard a card. That could be a decent spell if you're using it in something like a commander deck. I think that would be really good. I didn't even know that kind of spell existed. Now, it's still highly costly. I wouldn't run more than 1 or 2 of them in a deck because it's a 5-drop. But seems good. There are a lot of things that people never really played with because of the slow speed. But if you're not playing like professional Magic where you want to kill everybody on turn 4, there are some really good cards that are just nice and playable at a slow pace, like between you and your friends, you know what I mean? Oxidized Scrap Melter. Okay, sorry for that. It's hard to read some of these upside down. When Oxidized Scrap Melter enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact. Volition Reigns. Now this seems really expensive. It's 3 blue and 3. Now it saw play, guys. This one actually saw play. It's enchant a permanent. When Volition Reigns enters the battlefield, if enchanted permanent is tapped, untap it. You control the enchanted permanent. It's not you lose control at the end of turn. It's you gain control of that permanent, period. So it saw play. Memnite, here you go. This is something that was used a lot because it's a 0 drop. It doesn't cost anything to put it into play for a 1/1 creature. 0 mana for a 1/1. And it was really good in stuff like affinity decks because you can put it out quick. Here's a rare. Spike Shot Elder. It's 2 red and 1. Spike Shot Elder deals damage equal to its power to target creature or player. It's only a 1/1. So this is when you're going to pump. You're going to want to add like a 2/0 and first strike to it, and then start paying 3 mana and hitting your opponent for 3 damage. We got an island, one of my favorite goblin tokens, and another foil, a foil rare Spike Shot Elder. So we got 2 foil rares out of this fat pack. That seems decent. I mean, I don't know about the value of these, but you know, I'll take 2 foil rares. That's nice. Still be nice to pull one of those mythics. I've got 2 packs left. Maybe we'll get at least 1 mythic out of this. I would really like to pull a Mincer because I'm looking for them for white-blue decks. But, you know, anything's good. Let's get down here to the uncommons. Viridian Ranger. Whenever an artifact is put into an opponent's graveyard from the battlefield, you may draw a card. So you kill an artifact, you get to draw. That seems good. Back then, everything was loaded down with artifacts. Trigon of Thought. Trigon of Thought enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters on it. Pay 2 blue, tap, put a charge counter on Trigon of Thought. Pay 2, tap, remove a charge counter from Trigon of Thought, and draw a card. Trigon of Mending. Trigon of Mending enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters on it. Pay 2 white, put a charge counter on Trigon of Mending. Pay 2, tap it, remove a charge counter from Trigon of Mending. Target player gains 3 life. And we have a Grand Architect. Now this right here is really good. You can use it for all kinds of stuff because it just says other blue creatures you control get +1/+1. Pay 1 blue, target artifact creature becomes blue until the end of turn. And then it's got another ability down here. Tap an untapped blue creature you control, add 2 to your mana. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. So this guy right here pretty much is like, oh, I'm going to pay 1 blue and make this into a blue artifact. Tap your artifact and get 2 free mana. So, I mean, you could create a whole lot of mana, and if everything you had is blue, it's still a pump. So, I mean, you could run it in anything. You could even put it in Merfolk and just give all your blue Merfolk +1/+1. Seems decent. A mountain and another poison counter. So, no mythics yet. No mythics. If I remember right, there was no mythics, like 1 mythic in a fat pack. Now, there's no guarantee in fat packs. They never put a guarantee on that. So, I mean, you never know what you're going to get. But hopefully this will get us at least 1 mythic in here. Abuna Acolyte. Tap, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. And then you could also tap, prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to target artifact creature this turn. So, any creature you can prevent 1, or an artifact creature you can prevent 2. Not bad. Darksteel Axe. Darksteel Axe is indestructible. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, and it takes 2 to equip. Now you put that on a Spike Shot Elder, that's pretty good. They can't get rid of it. He becomes a 3/1 and can deal damage. Contagion Clasp. When Contagion Clasp enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Pay 4, tap, and proliferate. So, I mean, this was a continual proliferation generator here. Ratchet Bomb. Tap. Put a charge counter on Ratchet Bomb. Tap. Sacrifice Ratchet Bomb. Destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Ratchet Bomb. So, let's say you've got a bunch of 1-drops out there. You just put 1 counter on this, tap it, sacrifice it, and you've wiped out all their 1-drops. It's pretty decent rare. Got a Plains. Not too worried about that card right there. We got another foil. Tumble Magnet. Tumble Magnet enters the battlefield with 3 charge counters on it. Tap, remove a charge counter from Tumble Magnet. Tap target artifact or creature. So this was pretty good. I mean, it saw a little bit of play back in the day as well. It was used for artifact control. Alright, our final pack of Scars of Mirrodin. Alright, let's hope for something good here, guys. Let's hope for something good. I'm hoping this Fat Pack pays off here. Come on, Mox Opal. Alright, let's see what we've got. Liquid metal coating. Tap. Target permanent becomes an artifact in addition to its other types until the end of turn. Okay, so you make something an artifact. Furnace Celebration, we've already seen this card. Rust Tick. You may choose not to untap Rust Tick during your untap step. Pay 1 tap. Tap target artifact. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as Rust Tick remains tapped. And we did get a mythic. It's Indomitable Archangel. She's a flying metal crafter. Artifacts you control have Shroud as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. So it's a 4-drop for a 4/4 flyer that if you have a bunch of artifacts, guess what? They all have Shroud. They can't be targeted. So not the mythic we were looking for, but still a really nice angel. We did get a mountain and an insect token out of that. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have it. That's what we've got today. So we did get one mythic, Copperline Gorge. So, you know, a land and a good mythic in here. A lot of the other stuff here is probably not worth a whole lot of money, but that's what you do. It's gambling in essence here, you know. You just crack packs and see what you get. But that's what we've got from our Fat Pack of Scars of Mirrodin. And I'm hoping to do some more of these in the future. I believe I have an upcoming opening with Force of Will soon. I believe my box of Strangers of New Valhalla should be coming in this weekend. And I will be getting back to you with that. So until next time, see you.